Many years ago, a simple coal miner lived a happy, quiet life with his wife and son. On the night of his wife's birthday, which happened to be on the 31st of October, he had planned to give her a diamond he had been lucky enough to find during his time in the mines. He returned home after work and put his iron pickaxe away in a chest. He expected to be greeted by his young son at the door, just like any other day, but he quickly realized his son and wife were not home. He thought perhaps they had just gone outside for a walk, but the coal miner checked his watch. It was getting dark. They would not be out this late, and their hats and coats still sat on their stands. He grabbed his leather tunic and stone sword to go out and look for his family. As he opened the front door, a little girl stood before him. She wore rags and looked extremely ill. The coal miner also noticed what must have been a bone in her hand. "Can I help you?" he asked. The little girl chewed on the bone and giggled. That's when he noticed blood stained all around her mouth, the color of redstone dust. "Are you lost?" he questioned her. She stared up at him, giggling once more. Suddenly, the jukebox from in his house began playing. Startled, he turned back indoors and quickly turned it off. When he got back to the front door, the little girl was gone. He still needed to find his wife and son, and so, deciding to forget about the little girl for now, he took his sword in hand and wandered out into the night. As he walked through the darkness, his foot hit something. He looked down to see a red mushroom. He thought his son would like it, so he picked it up and continued his search. The cold night air had set in. Now amongst the trees, the coal miner was frightened, not for himself, but for his missing family. Without warning, something tapped his shoulder. He jumped and turned. Nothing was there, but he was sure he heard the laughter of a little girl somewhere in the night. As he walked through the ever-darkening woods, he remembered a story his grandfather had told him years ago. It was about a young girl who was orphaned at a very young age. After her parents were hanged for witchcraft, she was left homeless. No one would take her in. No one ever took any notice of her. She was never even given so much as an apple to eat. She was starving. She used to beg for food, but the townsfolk ignored her. Eventually, the girl became angry. Her hatred for the town and her terrible hunger became too much. She made the town notice her. She was not hungry anymore. Shaken by this memory, the lonely miner began to run, calling out for his wife and child. He stumbled over what he thought as a rock, but upon closer inspection, he saw it was a human skull. Skull and bones lay everywhere. The smell of rotten flesh filled his nose. Something moved up ahead. It was too dark to see, but he felt sure it was his wife. He ran forward and came to a hill. He climbed as quickly as he could. As soon as he reached the top, he saw the ground was covered in blood and bones. The little girl stood before him. "What have you done with my family?" he shouted at her. She chewed on her bone and laughed. The man was consumed with dread. "Stop it! Stop it!" he yelled. "Tell me where my family is." Her laughter grew and grew. Her teeth were pointed like fangs. Her eyes turned red like a spider's. She threw the bone at the miner's feet. Rain began pouring down. The coal miner dropped to his knees and began to sob. The coal miner and his family were never heard from again. Some say that on Halloween, the poor coal miner can still be heard, calling out for his lost wife and son, and a little girl's laugh can always be heard just behind.